Hi, good day children. So today we are going to discuss about our third video, grade 6 series. So this is the chapter 3, operating system and file management. So if you haven't followed my previous videos, please go through them. There are 2 more videos for you to watch. So this is the third one. So in this chapter, we are going to talk about operating system and file management. So any idea what is an operating system? Right? In the previous chapter, we learned operating system is a software, that means a computer program, and it is an essential thing for a computer to operate. For example, if you consider about normal application software like MS Word, MS Excel, or some computer game, without that your computer can operate. You can uninstall it and use the computer. But when it comes to system softwares like operating system, you should or you must have an operating system for your computer to work. So it is basically doing a lot of main functionalities, but for your age, we are basically talking about mainly 3 functionalities. First thing is operating system is the one which establishes the relationship between the user, that is you, the who operates the computer, and the hardware, which are the tangible parts of a computer like the keyboard, mouse, system unit, CDs, like that. So for example, if you type a letter using a keyboard, you can see that output on your screen. So for that task, definitely operating system should engage. Second thing is it helps to manage other software. Like other application softwares are managed basically by operating system. And third thing is the file management. So we will discuss about file management further later. So in here they have given a nice example for you to understand what is the main role of an operating system. So they're telling operating system is like the captain of a cricket team, right? So captain is the one who will lead the other players based on the given instructions and try to win the game. Okay, so similarly, all the hardware and software are managed by the operating system based on the given instructions. So there are different types of operating systems, right? You may have heard these things like Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Ubuntu, Red Hat, like that. So in here, as I discussed in the chapter 2, when it comes to software, there are mainly 2 types of softwares. One thing is proprietary software. That means you have to pay the license and use it. So Windows and Mac OSs are like that. But when it comes to Linux, Ubuntu kind of softwares, those are considered as open source softwares where you can freely download it and use it. Even you can do modifications. Next thing we are going to talk about is user interface. So the user is given an user interface where user can operate the computer using that, right? So that is basically the displayed screen when you switch on the computer. So it will have icons, windows, and all these things if you're using Windows operating system. So like that, that's the main screen you see. So then we are going to talk about a file. So when you draw something using MS Paint or like that, then you can save it right in the computer. So these documents you save, it can be a letter, it can be a report, it can be an image what you have drawn, it can be an audio file, like that. So these things are called as files, right? So file can contain any data, instructions or commands, right? So in here we are basically focusing about file management because that's one of the main tasks done by operating system. So when it comes to files, as I earlier mentioned, there may be different types of files in your computer. It can be the audio file, it can be a video file, it can be an Excel file which have your budget for a sport meet, like that, right? So files are shown with different kind of unique symbols, as you can see here. There are txt file, jpg file, audio files, video files, right? So if I show you some sample, so here you can see that I have sport meets folder, and in here there are so many files in here, right? So for example, BMP file, you can see the file type here, modified date, and the size of the file. So KBs are somewhat smaller units, right? So like 12, 7 means very lesser sizes. But if you have MBs, GBs, like if it's a film, definitely it will be the size of GBs if you save it with high quality. So these are measurement unit of measures you can use for sizes, right? So KBs, MBs, and GBs are there to measure the size. So I want to basically emphasize the types. See, BMP's images, right? PNG, JPEG, those are image extensions. And you have Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, text documents, like that, okay? So then it talks about basically user interface, right? So when you open a file or a program, you can see it in your screen, right? And the icons are very important. As we see, there are fold icons, right? Or for each file also there are different kind of symbols. So it is very easy to identify because icon is representing a file, a folder, or a program. So you can easily identify the file. So here they are talking about very important thing. A file is containing basically two parts, right? First part is the file name, which identify the file, right? And second part is the file extension, which will identify what is the application software the file belongs to. Now, if you think about this file, Kamal is the file name. So when you give the file name, always make sure you give something with a hint kind of thing where it is very easy to identify what's the content of the file. And then comes the docs. So it's a file extension. So based on the extension, you can identify what is the application type here. So here it's a latest version of Microsoft Word. Okay, so if you don't have X here, that means the older version of doc. That means the older version of Microsoft Word. So can you see the extensions here? Right. So let me give another small thing. If you cannot see the extensions, most of the time default behavior is the extensions are hidden. So if you're using Microsoft 8 or 10, the latest versions, then you can easily go to view in the folder view. Okay, and here you can tick now. If you tick, if you put a tick, it will come the extension, otherwise no extension. So this will be your default behavior. So if you put this tick, your file name extensions will be there, right? So if you're using something older than Windows 8, there's a different way to do it to enable the hidden extensions. So please Google it and find it. If you couldn't find it, please put a comment. I will help you on there. So these are the file extensions. Now say BMP, docs, XLX, that means latest version of Excel. So otherwise you will have just XLS. Then you have text. Then you have MP3, MP4 for audio video files. right? So these are the different kind of file extensions. So here they are explaining you about graphic software, right? So why they're doing is because in the next part, they're using a graphic software and explaining you some concepts. So what is a graphic software? Right, graphic means images, right? So if you want to do any editing, cropping, change the background color, make it blur, add text to the image, you want to resize the image, you have to want to save it with different types. So for those things, you can easily use a graphic software. Now they have given some examples for you: Photoshop, Illustrator, Dreamweaver. So these kind of softwares can be easily used for you to do any image related functionalities. So here basically they are talking about some concepts. So let me use MS Paint, right? Anybody, most of you, I mean, will be comfortable with this. So this is MS Word working window. So where you do the real drawing and all, right? I will basically do some drawing. So even you can try it out, most of the things. These may be very familiar thing for you. I just want you to show how you do a paint if somebody is very new for this. So you can color it. You can do very nice drawings, not like this. This is a basic thing I'm doing. Okay, so like this. Um, so this is a basic drawing you can do. MS Paint. So this is the working window, right? So in the working window, can you see there are three buttons here? So this one, first one is minimize. So what happens is when you click there, it goes and hides as an icon in the taskbar. So we call this as the taskbar. Okay, so if you click again, the windows again opens. Okay, so that's the main functionality of minimizing. Then next one is maximize. So if you click it, it will go and fit for the screen. So it will give you a more bigger screen. And then you go, if you go there, you can see the icon is different. It is telling restore down, right? So when you click it, again it will come back to the shrink version of your window, right? Then you have a close button, right? It is to terminate the application. So if you close it, it will again pop up a query window for you. It will ask whether to cancel. That means canceling the closing operation. Nothing will happen. You can continue working. And then there's something called don't save. If you click don't save, that means that file won't be saved. So it will be permanently gone, right? Third thing is it is asking for save, right? So you can save this file. I will go and save it in my school folder like this. So you can see there's a .png, that is a file extension type. Here, from here you can see any file type, right? All these are supposed to be image files, so that's why these extensions are given. So you can click and save it. Okay, so quickly let's go through again what are the things here. So you have a close button, maximize button, and minimize button, right? So minimizing, what it will do is the window will be hidden. So when you open it from the taskbar, it will work again like that. Okay. Maximizing, the window will be enlarged so that the screen will fit to the entire screen. You can shrink it back by re-clicking the restore down button. the button, remember buttons are two different buttons, right? Then comes the resizing. I couldn't tell that one. I will quickly again take another window. So in this window, can you see if you go to the edges of the window, you can have an arrow where you can resize it, right? You have, what you have to do is you have to click and your mouse, left mouse button, and then you drag it. If you're using the touchpad, click the left button and use the touchpad to move the arrow, dragging. Okay. Then closing, saving, we discussed, right? Then they are talking about folders, right? So a folder is a collection of files, right? So it is easy if you work in some files and put those collection into a folder for easy references and all, right? Rather than keeping them everywhere, right? So when you double click, now I will show you that as well. So here there are some folders. You can see the folder icon here. So if you go there and double click, that means left mouse button 2 times. Okay, then it will open up the um, folder. So, or you can right click and open, right? I will open few windows for you to show another thing. So can you see the multiple windows can be open, right? So if I click some window, that is the active window, so it will come up, right? So if I click this, the behind one, then it is the active one. So multiple windows you can work like that. Okay, so you can see here when the window size is small, there will be a scroll bar, so you can move up and down, right? So those are the basic things here they have explained. And another one more thing, for a file of folders, now if I want to change the name, I can use letters, maybe caps, maybe lowercase, right? I can use numbers. I can use some special symbols, right? But not these kind of symbols. Can you see? A file name cannot have these marks, colon, semicolon you can have, but not the colon, star, um, question mark, greater than, lesser than symbols. So these things you cannot use for a file name or a folder name. Please note in your textbook there's a mistake. They have told this greater than and lesser than symbol can be used. So that's a mistake, right? We cannot use it, but you can use semicolon for sure. Then in the folder view, there are some more things I want you to show you. Here, there is something called title bar. See, school. So this is the title bar where you have your name of the folder. Similarly, if you open up an image or any file, on top you can see its name. Okay. Then you have the menu bars, right? It will show you different commands, and based on the selected command, you will have the relevant subset of commands, right? Based on the selection. Okay. So basically, these things we have discussed, and how multiple windows and active window will be visible in front. You can shift from one window to another, right? So these all the open windows you can see in the taskbar. So these things are already there. So already you saw how I create a file, right? And then you saw how I drive the content and how I save the file. One small thing I want you to show. Now there are two commands, right? I will go back to Paint. So here, if you go here, there is something called file save and save as. So initially, first time when you are saving the file, it should be file save as, because here they will give you the opportunity to save the file with location and the name. But later, after you do some changes on it, then you just can say go for file save, right? But for the first time now, this image I haven't saved, right? This is something new, okay, like this. So I just draw a line, and then if I even go for file save option, they will go for the file save as option. Shall I save this with the default name? Then I can do any change, right? Then if I go for file save, it will save this content of the file. But think I want to not save it as a different image again. Now I add a polygon and I want to save it with a different thing. So then again I can go for save as and tell. Now this is the early image. I am telling this is my unit title 2. Okay, so if you go to the folders, first one, it's without that pentagon or the hexagon. I didn't see it. The hexagon. So this is with the hexagon, and this one is without the hexagon. So that is the difference between save and save as. So you can do with the keyboard shortcut control key and the S key. Both should be pressed together, so then it will be considered as saving a file. So remember, it is not allowed to save the same file with same name and with the same application software, right? For example, this image, now already there is unit title image, right? So if I want to save it, sorry, file save as, if I go with the same name, now unit title 2 is already there, right? If I'm going to save it, they will not allow it. They will ask whether to replace the file. So if you click replace, the older file will be gone. So you cannot use the same file type, same file name for the same folder location. Okay, but you can change it, the extension, and save it. For example, like this, JPEG. You can save because the application software is different there. Okay. So to open file, I show you, you go to the file location, just find the name and then you double click it. Or you right click and open it. You can do editing. I have shown you these things, right? And you can just put save if you want to save the existing file. But if you want to give a new name, you can do that as well. And one more thing, now the all these things what we talked is file management, right? You saw how to create a file, how to edit a file, how to save a file, and I will show you how to copy and paste. You may have heard this, right? Yeah. And now I'm going to show you how to copy this file. You right click it, copy, and go to the new location, right click, paste, right? So what has happened? This same thing has been moved to a new location. So copy is like duplicating things, right? But there's another option, control You right click it and you cut it, and then you go to the new location, then you again right click and paste it. So there, if you see the Untitled 2 is now not available. Wait, it's a bit confusing. This is the PNG one. What I moved is JPG. Okay. Did it confuse you? Let me show you again quickly. I will have a new file. Okay. So I right click it, cut it, right? And then go here and I right click and paste it. So this help text is not here, right? So cutting means you remove a file from one location to another, right? So there are keyboard shortcuts for this. Control and control key and the X will be cut operation. Control plus V is for pasting. Control plus C is for copy. So these shortcuts, remember, then it will be very helpful in you future life, especially Control V, Control C, Control X will be very helpful for you. In your later days, you will understand my words when you are becoming growing. So every day, so now, for example, I'm in computer industry, so definitely I'm using this Control V, Control C at least once per day. Definitely I'm using. So it's a very common command we are daily using. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter, right? So here we basically talk about what is operating system, what are the functionalities it is done, and especially about file management. We talked about lot files and folders, how their structure is, right? What are the file management operations we can do, right? These buttons, close, maximize, minimize, those buttons. So that's the end of the chapter 3, right? So I'm planning to do a separate video series for the workbook activities. Still I have not done it. I will add them soon. So if you have any questions related to the chapter 3, please do comment. I will try my best to answer them. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe this Iklid e-learning channel. So this is actually I have initiated especially because of this corona situations. A lot of kids missed school, they missed the classes, so there is no way to get the knowledge, right? So that's why I basically started this channel as a help, because this is I believe this is very important knowledge you get through my channel free of charge, right? So please subscribe it, and please do like or dislike it based on your choice, and please share this among your friends so everybody can share the knowledge and learn. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.